The Beatles star Paul McCartney was determined to build up his next band brick by brick, even if that meant shunning songs from the boy band, which had made him a millionaire. The Beatles split up in 1970, following incendiary comments made by frontman John Lennon about the group becoming bigger than Jesus. They were the targets of public record burnings by irate fans, death threats, and reports of gunshot wounds sustained while performing. Despite further recording sessions, the Fab Four never again played live together, following a dramatic 1966 farewell concert in San Francisco. Paul, who was in a nostalgic mood before the breakup, was determined to get the band back to doing live performances and playing surprise gigs at smaller locations. His insistence on regressing the band's sound to its foundational elements, however, was never going to sit well with a group that had become internationally famous. One positive aspect of the Beatles' breakup was that Paul finally got to pursue his lifelong dream of experimenting with grassroots sounds. In 1971, he created the band Wings and returned to touring with his debut album Wildlife, after a few years of solo work, McCartney and Ram. He embarked on a new musical adventure with Linda McCartney, Denny Laine, guitar, and Denny Sewell, drums. Paul, who is now 82 years old, finally revealed his hesitation to include any Beatles tunes in an online Q&A commemorating the 50th anniversary of one of their albums. "We were kind of refusing to do Beatles stuff," he said. "It was the rationale behind our actions, based on the most insane assumption ever, that former Beatle members frequent dive bars and other unofficial venues, similar to the university tour. It took a lot of guts. Their 1975 record Venus and Mars, nevertheless, would become their most famous work. It was this album that would inspire them to embark on their Wings Around the World tour, which would take them to 65 cities around the world." In 1976, during the Great American Tour, he exclaimed, "Wow, this is it!" when asked about the tour's success. After putting in so much effort, it was the reward. The wild notion of only gathering a few of people and forming small clubs, gradually expanding it, and mastering group dynamics proved to be successful. The best part about Wings was that, following the Beatles, Linda and I formed a little band that didn't have any successes and didn't know each other. The only others were Denny Laine, whom I knew to a lesser extent, and Linda. Despite our near-amateur status, we were determined to put in the necessary effort, and we accomplished just that. We erected it piece by piece. Paul hated being associated with the millions of recordings sold during his time in the Beatles in the 1960s, and he is, of course, still a musical icon today, but he thought part of the pleasure was building up slowly.